NBA coach, so make sure you introduce yourself. A couple things real quick. We're going to start recording all of our meetings, a lot of our practices and stuff. Just we have a lot of people missing. We're missing probably like 7-8 coaches. I don't want to have to call every single person and be like, here are the 15 things that we did. So obviously all of our Gorge coaches are missing. Our Milwaukee coaches are missing. Probably, what are we missing? 8-9 people, something of that nature. So very quickly, we've got tryouts coming up pretty soon. I will share some more information. You guys should have had multiple emails come to you, but just in case, I'll outline it. Where are we at right here? Fall Club team tryouts. Yeah, give me this one here. So it's gonna be here in about 10 days. We're going to run out of Salmon Creek United, and so before we get out of here, I'm going to ask everybody to please text or people that think are going to be in, because I'm worried it's going to be too big for the space, and we might need to add more time. There's just a ton of kiddos. I don't think we're going to be as big as spring. I don't think we're going to be 17 teams, but we could be in that 12 to 15, and then probably another 4 to 5, maybe 6 junior NBA teams. And so if we can get ahead of it a little bit early this week, so we'll take a minute before we go, and if you don't know someone's number, I'll get it for you so we can text them out. But I want to kind of get a wrap on it. So right now we're just looking at having at Salmon Creek United starting Wednesday, August 21st, which is going to be the girls. And then Thursday we're going to run the boys out of there. Then we've got a makeup that following week. All of this information is in your email. But I just wanted to go over it because one of the things that are going to be different is this year we're going to run a parent meeting in between the sessions. And so every time we host a parent meeting outside of tryouts, like a third of the people come, and then people are like, I didn't get my info, I don't know what's going on. It's because they don't read anything, number one, and then they don't show up. So you come to tryouts, your kid's trying out. Oh, before you go, 10-minute parent meeting over here. So we're just going to go over basically how the season's going to come together, what that's going to look like. And then we're also going to be directing them to our new websites. So we built out a couple different websites to address some of the different issues that we were having before. There was confusion about all of our kind of different levels. So we broke out Future Flames, and so this is something that Doral's been heading up. And right now we are working out, I don't know what, like 60 kindergartner to second grade boys at all of these different daycares. If it'll go down for me. So we're in all of these. Nothing showing? Oh, my secondary screen. Okay. All right. Display settings. Is that it? Identify. Oh. Nobody could tell me when I sat here for 20 minutes.
I don't know. I thought you were talking. Yeah.
All right, give me a second here. All right. Display. 1 of 2. It's just showing that.
Just say B, slide it over to your right, whatever you're trying to show. Slide it forward to your right as you can.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
Now I can't see it. Okay. Good. All right. Okay. All right. So we're in all of these different places right now, so I'm going to turn around and see if I can get this to work. Can we do full screen? All right. Go full screen. I don't have my management on the side. But so we're in about 15 of these different places. And so this has been a really cool program for us because one of the initiatives for the NBA right now is they're trying to, and we just had this meeting with them in Dallas, they're trying to figure out how to capture kiddos at the same time soccer is catching them. And so this is one of the initiatives. We're doing one of the test pilots. Doral kind of came up with this, and then they're going to launch it next in Denver, and then it's going to go out probably across the country. So right now we're working all these different places. I don't know if it'll let me scroll down. There we go. So basically targeting kinder cares and kiddie academies right now. But we can offer this to different places like, Salmon Creek United's got a daycare, preschool, whatever. But this is also going to be very important moving forward because we capture these kiddos this early, then maybe they don't go through like a Parks and Rec or a Hot Shots environment. They're going to go straight to basketball. which will in turn would allow basketball to be better in the area.
Capture the girls too, because girls on the Halloween.
Oh yes, girls right now.
Girls in this program are applying more than half of that.
Yeah, and across the country, girls' numbers are down huge. They're struggling to fill national championships at the 4th and 5th grade level. All right, let me see if it's going to let me switch to this other one. Okay, so our main site, we switched from Flame Sports Club to this site for a number of different reasons. Number one is that we can manage a calendar here. So all the time, people are asking me, where are we? What is going on? And we can put some of that data into league apps, but it's hard to navigate. And right now, we're working on a native app. So you'll be able to go into, the Apple Play Store, Google Play Store, whatever it is. Bring this in, download the app, and be able to have all this data. So if you launch in here, it'll pull into the calendar, tell you everything, where we are. So this talks about training that we have up in the gorge, gives us where it is, all of that data.
Now also sync your own calendar if you want to.
Yep. So you can sync it to your phone calendar, sync it to whatever calendar that you have. All the other stuff on here is pretty similar.
Oh, fix the spelling on that too.
What's that?
You gotta fix the spelling on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you go through it and you see something wrong, let me know for sure. Me and Doral stared at these for hours, but you never know.
Calendar wrong.
Okay. Hey, that's a hard one, okay, Ryan? Jeez. So anyway, transitioning from that, so that'll go out to everybody. So every player, parents, everyone will have that information, so you won't have to field those calls. So we're playing Hoop Source this weekend. Here is the link to find your team. We're playing Hoops for Community this weekend. Here's the link to find your team. It's going to give maps, give times, give the whole bit. Everything will launch. It'll all be in one spot, so we don't have to constantly field all those calls of, where are we this weekend. So the next part of that is Hoops for Community, and so I talked about this with a lot of you guys. Last year, the City of Vancouver gave us a grant to basically promote basketball in the City of Vancouver. So last year, I think we did about 5-6 events. They were medium-sized events, 40 to 60 teams. We didn't spend any of that money because we wanted to go through the process one time. So we're going to cap it, I think, at about 120 teams, because we don't want to be like some of our competitors who got you at 8 a.m. in Beaverton with a couple refs who just walked onto the court. So we want to make sure that we keep it a size that's good for competition, but not too big to where we can't manage it. There's just not enough refereeing out there to be at 200-300 teams and have quality across the board. One of the things that we'd ask everyone to think through with this product is with each of these tournaments, and I'll use Hoop Fever as an example. With each of these tournaments, we're highlighting a different charity. Hoop Fever was awesome. Kindness 911 was really easy to work with. They did a lot of promotions. They were a brand new charity, and in the partnership with us, they went from having 0 Facebook followers to 700 in 5 days. So the impact is there, the reach is there, and it turned out really great. So with that opportunity with Kindness 911 at Hoop Fever, we were able to bring in the Lintons from Camus. Our kiddo has got terminal brain cancer. It was front page news on the Columbian. Channel 2 hasn't put their piece yet together, but we need to find more partners like that, because we have all these different events that we're going to do this year, and we've kind of got placeholders in here. So if you have any suggestions of different charities that you think would be very active, we're going to continue to work with Home for Heroes. That'll be our veterans one. We're going to work with Declan, the Dinosaur Foundation. That looks good. That was a group that paid the Lintons mortgage for the month of September, so they're very active. They're a great group. Obviously, the Blazers Foundation we'll continue to work with because they do most of our stuff. And then we'll move into, I realize we don't do soccer, but the Timbers want to be at a lot of our stuff as well. Same thing with Big Owls. They said that they want to be a part of everything we're doing. Les Schwab wants to be a part of everything that we're doing. But we need smaller kind of homegrown. Like if we're going to do, something about, breast cancer or childhood obesity or concussions or whatever it is, I'd like to benefit a local small group. Then like everyone else who's like, hey, we're going to do March of Dimes. Well, they've got $1 billion. They don't need our support. So if you know anyone, think of anyone. We're going to have 10 to 12 events this year in the city of Vancouver. City of Milwaukee, we're taking over their youth programming, so I'm sure that we'll have events there as well, taking that over in September. And then Hood River and the Gorge wants us to run. So last year we ran the Columbia Gorge Classic, and then we ran the 3-on-3 in Hood River. They want us to add a winter event, so that would give us 3 in the Gorge. So Robert, if you know anybody up in the Gorge, small charities, we'd like to highlight those guys. Okay, so just back to that point, and like I heard something the Dora was saying there, and really what's important is that we're looking for, vendors who are, or charities who want to be engaged. And so like, we're up in the Gorge, we partnered with Young Life, and not saying we wouldn't do it again, but the guy didn't do anything, and I know he is busy or whatever it is, but then like Kindness 911, or you work with Home with Heroes, and they show up, like Home with Heroes showed up, they brought the guy from Gold Rush, they were raffling off, fishing trips, they were doing a ton of stuff, which is what we really want for that engagement. We got all those people in one spot, we want to really be able to highlight them, and kind of tell that story. So if you guys have any suggestions, let us know, because this has got to go. It's already live, but we can make any of those adjustments. I just would rather go with local folks who are more engaging than the bigger folks. But right now, I mean, we've got foster care up in Hood River, an organization called COS. I think is going to be a good one. We've got Home with Heroes, which is a veterans-based group. Declan the Dinosaur Foundation, that's childhood cancer. So there's something that like speaks to you, or something that you think that would speak to our group of folks. Let us know, because we want to make sure we're hitting everybody. Give everybody an opportunity. Like last year we did one with the homeless organization downtown Vancouver. They just built a basketball court. They house homeless families that are sober to transition them from the street to out being in real life. Those are good stories to tell. But at the same time, they're so busy that they can't help. So we got to find folks that can do both. All right. Let's see if this will pop up for me here. Where am I at? Okay. YouTube, bingo. Think. Oh, man. Oh. Let's see where I'm at. Okay. Yes, so for the 15th time.
If you click on one, you can scroll.
Okay. We are changing our jerseys, and the reason why is because the vendor can no longer supply anywhere near what we have. These jerseys are going to be at the same cost. Going to get a shooting shirt. Should be really cool. The difference is with this vendor that we're utilizing in partnership with Nike is that they can print these as long as they're in business. So as long as because it's all digital. So as long as this company is around, we can use these for 10, 15 years. It doesn't matter. With the stock stuff that we used from Jordan last year, they did not let us know that they change it every 3 years, and we were at the last year of that model. So everything that we ordered, it's all completely different. We can't match up at all. So if we go to buy, let's say we've got 100 kiddos this year and 40 of them need uniforms, they're going to look completely different.
They didn't have stock either.
Oh yeah, well, and then at the end, like in spring ball, we had 17 teams. They didn't have stock, so everybody was mismatched. We were wearing all kinds of stuff, like they were pulling Nike stuff from here. It was all different colors. It was a nightmare. But with this product, everyone's going to get a shooting shirt and a uniform. We're also going to have samples at the parent meeting. So,
Will you scroll through those real quickly and then hit that arrow?
arrow, maybe right arrow.
Are those Nike or those just
One of
off-brand?
Yeah, it's basically what Nike and Adidas do, and is they just hire companies to produce stuff. So like, there's a company in Tualatin, Shirts and Skins. They produce half of Adidas's product, and then just like our old Adidas stuff was actually made by Badger. It's just how it works. The shooting shirt will say Nike on it.
It doesn't matter. It was close.
No, but yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that myself. The whites are
I
awesome.
like those ones.
Oh yeah, the whites are nice.
Like,
They're reversible. Everything's reversible. Yeah.
shorts are reversible too?
Yeah.
And it's lightweight stuff too.
So which model? We took one of the Blazers jerseys.
2008 was a 2017 Rip City plaid jersey that we mocked up.
Just removed the plaid.
First spin on it.
Alright, that might be it. So these will be at tryouts for sizing. Knock on wood. Well, that's what they tell us. Yeah. Okay, so transitioning from that, we need to make sure that everyone has updated USA Basketball Gold cards. I know Damien has his. Doral has his. Robert, do you have your USA Basketball Gold card? Okay. Sarah, you've got yours right now, right? Okay. Roland, do you have your USA Basketball Gold? Okay. Daniel, you got yours? Ryan, you got one? Okay. So I'll send it back out. It was in an email with like 5 things. So I'll send just USA Basketball Gold coach. And so basically what we'll do is with our partnership with USA Basketball, they're requiring that all of our coaches are USA Basketball Gold. And so as we get into more competitive gameplay, you have to be a USA Basketball Gold coach. So when we had our teams go to Chicago this summer for Nike Nationals, I could not, as a program administrator, even register for the tournament without having my USA Basketball Gold, and without having my BBCS NC2A certification. And so you don't have to do that one yet until your kiddos, like Sarah might have to because of the age of her team. Damien, you might have to because of the age of your team. Because we'll start playing NC2A sanctioned at that grade level. But so I'll send that back out. I'm also going to send it with the AAU information. So if you don't have your AAU card,
Application we had to fill out.
it was part of it. There was some info in there. You'll get a secondary link.
I did get that back to you.
Yeah, you did. But they want you to watch some videos and do this, that, and the other. So AAU cards, we have to do a better job this year. I think last year, about 70% of the kiddos filed for AAU cards, which left a big gap. And it's hard to manage because it's constantly moving. But what the AAU cards do is it allows us, I'm not so much worried about playing in AAU certified events necessarily, which we can if we want to, but it verifies, number one, is the age of this kiddo correctly? Because we get that all the time. How old is this kid and what's going on? So we have that data on file, it's all correct. The second thing is that it provides that kiddo health care outside of their regular health care. So your kid's in a game, you're at Rip City, we're at Rip City, Jen falls down, breaks her leg, you guys are at the hospital, you would have had secondary coverage from AAU. So that's why that's important. We got to make sure that everyone does that this year. I'll provide instruction on that. And then coaches will make sure you guys have your cards as well. The last thing kind of all comes together, and really it's scholarship based. We have to, thank you so much. We have to this year do a better job of doing quarterly, whether it's events or fundraising, because our scholarship fund is so depleted. I mean, we're like $4,000 upside down in scholarships, just year to date. So I don't know if anybody wants to take on that or if anybody has ideas or thoughts, but we've got to get something on the books quarterly for that, because it's one of our biggest needs is scholarships. And we don't turn anyone away. Every single kiddo gets to play, whether they've, paid their money or not, but it's just crazy, like how it adds up over time. 5 kids, well, especially when we're as big as we are, 200 kiddos for spring, and 10% of them can't pay. 200 times 300 is $6,000. And some of those programs are, more money than that. So if anyone has ideas about what would be good for events, whether it's, banquets where we get the Rose Room at the Moda Center, bring everybody in early, let people get shots up, whatever it is. So we can do that stuff with the Blazers, do it with the Timbers, anything also through the Rose Quarter. So I know, Roland, you just went to New Kids on the Block. What was that concert? Oh, okay, Roland didn't go. But we've got access to all those events as well. So where we can get special access or passes or whatever it is. So that's got to get up and rolling very quickly. So if you have any fundraising ideas, any events you think would go well, I know, Damien, you had a few that were good ideas. And then we've got to find someone eventually. And talking with your parents, I know a lot of parents want to be involved. They ask me all the time, you know, what can we do? We need someone to grab that and run with it, for sure. Dora, what did I miss out of that?
Now, addressing the scholarship kiddos themselves.
Oh, yeah. So this year, just so everyone's aware, and we launched it last year. We didn't do a very good job with it. We have a scholarship packet now. And so basically what it does is, because in the past, you know, like people would say, oh, we'll help you with this, that, and the other, and it never happened. You know, just never materialized. So now we've got an actual packet. A kiddo comes in and says, hey, I need scholarship help. Okay, well, this quarter or this session is, you know, $350. You know, number one, how much can you pay? Do you need to make payments? You know, so okay, we can do 200 of the 350, and then it breaks it down like how many volunteer hours that would play into. So we're gonna help you set up and break down for this tournament. It gives them options to plug in at different places, but we're gonna need coaches' help just because there's so many families that are doing that. So like we get into season, you know, Sarah's got 3 of them. I'm gonna get with Sarah and be like, hey, here are your 3 families. Need you just communicate with them as well. We'll be communicating with them, but we need you guys to kind of firm that up on the back end.
Or that is they have to buy the jersey.
Yeah, everyone has got to buy the jersey because we just have no way to supply them. You know, they're custom made, they're one-offs. You know, they're not making them until we order them. For us to house, like people always think we've got this big back storage and stuff. For us to house 2 teams worth, it would cost me $2,000 just to sit that there. And then are the numbers right? Well, oh, we got a new player. Awesome. I've got a number 5. Well, we've already got 2. How many number 2s did we have last year? 2, 3? Oh, it felt like more. Because every game it was number 2 green shoes, number 2 red shoes. And that wasn't really a scholarshiping issue. It was more of a mix and matching thing. What else do we got?
We just have all our tournaments. So going forward too, for coaches too, we just need to do a better job communicating to you guys what we need to set up these tournaments. You know, because unfortunately there's like 3 or 4 of us that put all-day tournaments with our games, multiple teams, and then they're 4 hours before, 4 hours after, the whole weekend.
And we could knock stuff out in like 20 minutes if 2 more people could show up.
That's us communicating better to what our needs are too. So kind of rallying around that and seeing what we can do to make that easier for everybody.
Hey, Robert said he'd be happy to take over communication.
Robert! Thank you, Robert. Gaming, do you got anything to add or questions, or what do you need?
No. I was talking to you before we got started here. I was telling you, we were asking about charities.
Yep.
I was telling Dora that there's a local charity here that works with veterans, getting them off the drugs, and they house homeless veterans called Clean Street.
Lean Street?
Clean.
Clean.
K-L-E-N.
Please just send us info.
Okay.
Yeah, when I get the info, I'll shoot it out to you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And then there's always the KDE fund.
Yeah, we saw that one. Your own foundation.
We're doing a check on that one.
Robert, you got any suggestions for the gorge? Nothing? Usually you can't stop topping. You did that last year?
I think, we're continuing to move forward and, having new ideas and different things. So that's as long as we got to keep doing that.
Yeah.
You can't just stay stagnant. So that's exactly what we need and want. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah, anything we missed that you needed?
Sorry.
No, I didn't mean to call you in there.
No, I mean, we probably expect a lot of backlash about having to reorder the uniforms and stuff, so just trying to explain in a way to these parents that makes sense, that longevity-wise, that we're not going to be making another change. We hope that we want to stick with this, we're going to be able to get stuff faster, better, it's going to be so much more efficient because that's been a huge nightmare. It's just the uniform issue has been one of our biggest issues. Unfortunately, this is the solution to solve that problem with the way
They
that
won't have to
we're
reorder unless they grow out of it.
Yeah, well, in the spring was a huge testament to that. We ordered all that gear. Then Nike canceled all the gear. Then we had everyone reorder all the gear. Then they sent us incorrect gear. It was just like, holy smokes. And so we just told them they had to come up with a solution. And this is what they came up with. Because it took you, 15 hours?
That's being not kind.
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably all spring break of calling trying to get parents to get back to me. And making sure also with families that we have, if both parents' emails. I mean, that's a big thing too. As coaches, we need to make sure that our information, our contact information with these families is correct.
Yeah, we really need to do a better job of having like a 10-minute parent meeting at the beginning. I'll get everybody's rosters printed out, because that's what happens a lot of times. Like Charlie McCord is a great example. Parents are separated. The dad has a girl's name and back. So I don't know who's who, because I never get to see this person. And they're like, oh, I don't get this email, but you get this email. I'm like, how would I know that? So we gotta. And then also, if someone says that they're not getting anything, 95% of the time is because they wrote their email address wrong. I don't know how many people will call me up and like, I can't believe you haven't sent me anything. It's been, no. Okay, well, let me look at your account. Okay, you misspelled your name. I can't, I don't know how to like guess that you're going to do that. You know, so data cleanup is really, really key.
And then on another back, the scholarship funds and having parents and stuff help us out with the volunteer side, but also making sure that these kids know about these charities and step forward and contribute that way as well. It's not just about them stepping on a basketball court and playing the basketball game, but we're making them mindful of why we were doing this. And of course, we all love basketball, we love being here, we love coaching, but that they have an understanding also of this community piece and the giving back. Sometimes we have the same kids volunteering all the time.
Every time,
we need to make sure that we get teams in here and that we're rotating kids and they're, being a part of that as well.
Yeah. And then leaning further forward on that, like the special events that the Blazers are going to partner with us on this year, like they're going to host our coaches clinic again. Like most of you guys went to the practice facility last year for training. So did you go, Roland? No. You, Ryan went. I remember that. So we'll be doing that stuff with them again. And then, oh my goodness, what else are they going to do? So we'll have game day tickets for everybody, all that stuff starting in preseason. We'll probably be 3 to 4 games this year that we'll attend and have those special events. And so part of that is like a lot of times when it's only like we're doing Anthem Buddies and I can only bring 15 kiddos on the court, a lot of times I'm grabbing those 5 kids first that have helped me all year round. And that gets confusing to some people, but I'm like, this girl ran the concession box for 15 hours. I got to give her something, got to help her some way.
One thing,
yeah, what do you got, Roland?
When we did a fundraiser that we did at a church event,
yeah,
we partnered with Krispy Kreme, and we ended up making like $3,000. It's pretty easy. So maybe if we're gonna have at the tournament we just had, we could have been selling tons of donuts and get 50% of the profit back to whatever fundraiser we do. So
Jamba Juice does something similar like that too. You can pre-order and they'll bring the drinks and stuff to you.
Yeah.
And the donuts we were able to sell like 50 cents, which was like selling hotcakes. And then we just made we sold a lot of donuts for like $1,000.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so that's a good one. Anything else, Roland? No? Chris, you probably got a million questions. First time here.
Yeah. Still soaking it all in.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing too is we got we want to really build a culture of gratefulness as coaches that we can't be even players. We can even play our parents. The biggest thing that we deal with, we saw it in the tournament here in our adults basketball.
Oh, that was
the hardest
embarrassing.
part that we deal with is adults, not the kids. And so we got to lead by example with that. We got to hold our parents accountable. Also, this year we're going to have parent contract, or player contract, and coach contract is all signed. You guys will be responsible for collecting that, and we have that in the database. But we got to lead by example on when something doesn't go right. We got to be the voice of figure it out, make it. But we don't want to have that negative culture. So we got to go together and support each other. That includes even talking about somebody else's kid or a coach. We just want to make sure if somebody talks about you, I'm going to stand up for you. Sarah, you know what I mean? If I hear that anywhere, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
so
so
back all the way through that process.
we're very fortunate this year to just have to remove one coach. So I think last year it was 4. No, not Robert. We had one coach that just all she wanted to do was complain. Everything was toxic. Everything was negative. And just none of us need that. We're volunteering our time. We're all coaching. We're all taking enough heat as it is. You got one parent who is only worried about winning. Then you got another parent that all they want to do is have their kid have fun. There's no way for us to appease all of them. So it is very important that we all have each other's back in those situations. Absolutely. for sure. And if there are issues, doesn't mean we can't talk about them. It is not during a game. It is not, out in the public with other people. If I need to have a talk with, Daniel, I'm going to set up a time. I'm not going to come out at halftime and be like, it doesn't solve anything for any of us. Okay. Daniel, you got anything, bud, that you need or thoughts?
Do we have an idea of like what the registration is going to look like with junior NBA and club size yet for the third, fourth graders?
Yeah, so really don't. The reason why it's like we're having to launch so much earlier because Vanis D is almost 10 days earlier this year. And so that's why I want to take a minute and make sure that we text everyone that we're expecting to come. And I've got everybody's data, so if we don't have someone's information, so I'll, you got to kind of decide which way you're leaning, obviously, because that will change, which link that you send out. But I would assume that we'll probably be in that, 115, 120 range would be my guess for fall.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because I know that like last year we didn't have enough to go to the junior NBA. So
in the spring, yep.
Yeah. So we moved up. Yeah, so, that's where I'm at. Because if we're in junior NBA and we only have 6 kids, then it's kind of hard to coach that. But if I go to club and get 8 to 9 kids, it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. Yeah.
Daniel, a lot of the times too, though, I mean, not saying like Furstenberg has a league, Hotshot has a league. As coaches, go watch some of these games. You see a game with potential, whatever. There's so many people that are like, I had no idea Vancouver Flames existed. I don't know how to access it. But even going out in the community and watching the YMCA kids that anything with potential, go up to a parent and say, hey, get to know them or invite them to come to a practice, come check us out. I mean, if you're
especially those
a couple kids, it's a great way to prove
those good kids are like stuck in a desert, Like,
I didn't know about it. You told me about it.
yeah, exactly. I've told neighbors, hey, that just had no idea. That's how
Daniel, the other part of that too is that last year we only had 2 sessions scheduled and we tried to throw that last one together last second.
Yeah.
This year we have 4 sessions scheduled. So it's already in there. It'll be in the marketing. The bottom's junior NBA.
Okay.
Yeah.
we have some Flames like business cards too, that you just have some in your wallet. You see somebody, like, hey, look at the
This one I don't think it is. Let me.
I think it is.
Oh, in the email?
Yeah, you sent me a few emails. I didn't know.
Maybe. See if this will come up. Yeah, the site's info. No, it's not. GoFlames.club.
So this is the new updated website. The other one's not there anymore.
Yeah, the other one we took down. It just was so hard to, like, every time I wanted to make a change, I'd have to call them and and they didn't have a really good calendar integration, and so that's something to look at.
Yeah, I like this one. It's a lot more user friendly.
Yeah. I think the photos of you are better on this one too.
You're gonna be waiting a long time, dude.
The cost is the same. I choose so $350 every.
Well, except for winters. Winters basically double. Winters are most expensive. I think it's like $575, something like that. But we go into November, December, January, February, part of March. We're like fall, part of September, part of October, into the beginning. And it's winters like 4 times the amount of games. There's way more trainings. There's way more everything in winter for club. Yeah, so we might add another one in September. There's league play in fall, unless we add another tournament. Like, we're the only people running fall tournaments. I can't find
All
any.
my tournaments on vacation days.
You gotta let me know.
I'm like the 12th and the 19th on vacation. 10th to the 20th.
I feel like we hit you every time.
Snake River last time.
All right. Ryan, any suggestions, questions?
When you do the team meeting or the parents meeting,
Yep.
you'd probably be better off to do it during the tryout, because that way there's not kids and all this stuff with distractions. So have one person do the meeting while the kids are distracted with the tryout. You'll have more time to field questions. You're not rushed to get them out there. Kids asking stuff, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So when does so the 22nd is 21st, 22nd is tryouts, and then when do we actually start practicing and things like that? In the fall?
It'll be the second week in September.
Okay, so it's like a 3-week break in there.
There's a couple week break in there, and we did that on purpose because we're doing a gear change. Also, like we have Salmon Creek United, like we can do some open gym or open run early if we want, but the way that the school district are going to do the gyms this year, because they're starting on August 27th instead of September. Yeah, so usually they want everybody back in building for a couple weeks. Yeah.
Hey, B, since we're all reordering uniforms too, when it comes down to number selection, typically coaches, just to put that up there too, if we have had a veteran player who's been with us with a number, I'm going to give them that number. New players coming on then, you know what I mean? We'll have to choose like a different number. Like if that person has kind of had that, yeah. That's the way I've done that in the past.
Unless that player wants to buy the number from the other one, like with the Lakers. Yeah.
So are we going to collect the player numbers since we're having the parent meeting if they sign up there then, or do you want me to get on making the calls?
I think that we need to ask Troy if he can collect them on the front end of the order.
Okay. That would make it easier.
Yeah. I think we can collect it at point of registration, but I'd rather he collect it in a separate portal.
Okay.
Daniel, what do you got?
Practice times. I don't know that. How many practices a week are we going to get this year?
Yeah, so we're going to have the weekly training just like we've had forever. And it just really depends on how many teams we have. So last year we were the largest for middle schools. We had most of the middle school reservations. Van SD will only give us so much because there's 20 people vying for it. So it's a mix of that.
Yeah.
Just depends on how much space we can get.
Are we still looking at Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Primarily, yep. I like doing that because if we play that weekend, we play Saturday, Sunday, it gives people Monday to rest, Tuesday train.
Thursday works out.
Usually Thursday works out really nice. We might have some open gyms on Wednesday just because we have Salmon Creek United back.
Maybe Friday.
We do some Friday stuff too, as long as we're not playing that weekend. Anything else, guys?
Also, for every, we have a couple kids in mind thinking that that want to play. Is there finance? Not finance, but there's a payment plan for everybody, right?
Yeah. So there's a payment. So the question is about the payment plan, and so the one that we have right now. Let's see if we can see it here. Yeah, payment plan. Here's the main one. This is. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Back in here. It's moving. Fall proteins. Yeah, so right now Roland is broke into 3 installments. One due at time of registration. One in September, one in October. They're all about a month out. What's that?
$89 or something like it was.
The first one's $150. And then the other ones are $100 because it comes at $350.
And then with the jersey, is that a separate order form?
Yeah, so the jerseys will order directly through the team portal. Yep.
And that'll be available on the day of the tryouts?
I'm hoping to have that set up before because people are wanting to order right now. Which is funny because we're finally going to have a run and people want to order before we get the run. Nothing else?
I was planning on looking at the website where all these links are.
Hey, Doral. Can you help Chris get on the GoFlames.club, please? I'm not sure what's on here, but it's tasty. Looks like a breakfast sausage.
How long are you guys gone for?
Through Friday.
So if schools are closed, we don't have practice that day, right?
Yeah, there's no.
Like if they're like end service days or whatever, we still have practice those days or no?
No school, no practice.